Well, I just want to say hello to everyone. My name is Venetia Carpenter, and I am with Ecclesia International Ministries. I have my own 5013C ministry, and I'm here in Dallas, Texas, visiting my good friends Sue and Eddie Hyatt. And just want to share with everyone that's out there and just say hello and basically explain how I teach Sue's course, In the Spirit We're Equal. I've been teaching this course now, gosh, I want to say for at least 6-7 years, for at least that long, and I love it. And the reason why I do it is because it has so impacted my life. When I first heard this course, when Sue first taught it to me, gosh, I think it was back like in 2000, maybe 2001. I can't even remember when it was, but I know it was several significant years ago. It just really brought home to me my worth before the Lord, and really what I have been called to do as one of His daughters and as a woman in ministry. And I had never heard this teaching before. I had never heard the things that I'd heard in the historical facts before. I mean, it was just like all of a sudden the veil was rent, and I just came into this huge revelation of what the Lord really has called His girls to do and how significant it is. So I've always wanted to impact other women with this, and every single time I've taught this, it's been a significant thing for people. They've come to me and just said, this has been groundbreaking. Now the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. I'm really starting to understand now why I'm called to do what I do, what the Lord has called me for. I'm not a freak. I'm not crazy. I really have been called to ministry, and I really have been called to do this. And I've got historical and theological data to even back up what I feel I've been called to do. No one has encouraged me in this, but I feel so encouraged now. So just want to give you a brief overview of how I do this, and hopefully this will help other people to realize how easy it is to do. It's not difficult. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy communicating. I'm a communicator, and I enjoy having people's input while I'm communicating. So basically what I do, and has always worked for me, I'll just send out a flyer either by email. I have a website. I'll just post it and just let people know that I'm thinking about teaching this course again. I basically explain just on one piece of paper or just one note what it is, how long it's going to be, what the commitment is, and just ask whoever would be interested to send me an email back and tell me you're interested or get with me. I'll leave my phone number and I'll leave my email address. Most people will respond by email. And normally if I can get at least 3 to 4 ladies to do it, I'll do it. If it's less than that, I'll just wait and I'll do it maybe in another couple of months when there's more interest. But I've never been big on numbers. I've taught it to as many as 3 ladies. I've taught it to as many as 10 ladies. I've taught it to 20 ladies at a time. But I just want to get the word out, because it may just be one lady in there, even if it's 3 ladies, that will teach it to other women. And that's really what I want to see happen. So I send out the information. I wait for a response. Usually people respond right away if they're really interested. I tell them up front what the commitment is. I do have them to pay for the workbook and the textbook. I want them to know what that is, because I feel like it's important for people to make a commitment, because this is an investment into them. I explain what that is. It's a very, very nominal price that they have to pay. But I just want them to make that commitment, and I tell them the workbook and the textbook is yours to keep. You can go back over it. You can teach it to other people. You can do whatever you want to do with it. So at that point, after I've gathered a group of ladies and they've told me that they're interested, then I ask them. I usually give them a choice of I usually give them a choice of 2 dates, and I'll pick. We could either do it like on a Thursday or a Saturday. And based on how much response I get for either one of those dates, that's the date we'll do it. And everybody's usually fine with that. I also work in the marketplace, so it's usually going to be a date that's convenient for me. And depending on the group, if it's a bunch of ladies that work, then I will do it in the evening. I've also done morning classes, Saturday morning for moms at home, if that's easier for them. I usually try to adapt the time around their schedule and mine, where it works for everybody. I tell everybody up front it's a 10-week course. We may skip a week or so, but I really want them to know up front it's a 10-week course, because that's the way Sue taught it to me, and I think it's the most effective way to do it. And I think people need to know it's not just one of those things where you just do it once or twice and all of a sudden you got the information. I want them to know that it is a commitment. It is 10 weeks, and I want them to know that up front so they can adjust their schedule and just make plans ahead of time. We're going to meet every week for 10 weeks, and then after that we'll go forward and we'll just see what we want to do. I usually try to keep the classes, and I'll tell you, I call it a class, but really it's not. I'm just the facilitator. I don't do a class, but I usually try to keep the sessions no more than 2 hours. We'll come in, we'll share, we'll pray together, and then we get right into the meat of the class. And I basically facilitate. I can lecture, but I find the most effective way to do this material is to have a give and take type of situation where I facilitate and say, okay, we're in chapter 1. These are the questions that we have for this week. This is what we read this week. We always have homework every single week, and I want the ladies to actually get in every week and read the material themselves. I don't want to spoon feed them. I want them to read it because it's more effective. I'm a visual learner. If I'm reading it myself and if I'm seeing it myself, I learn much better than somebody spoon feeding it to me. And I think most people do. So every week we have sections that we're going to read, and we also have questions we're going to do. And then we just come in every week and we talk about the questions and we talk about what we read. And it's so awesome. Every single time I've done that, every lady sees something a little bit different. So, Sue over here will tell me this is what she saw and what the Lord was speaking to her. And Deborah will tell me what she saw and what the Lord is speaking to her. Thoma tell me what she saw and what the Lord is speaking to her. And it just really makes the class just so much more full. Because it's not just me doing it now. It's everybody facilitating and teaching each other. And they realize, I can do this. If I could sit in a classroom and it's not even a classroom, we sit in my living room in a setting pretty much like this on the couches and chairs, and we may have tea or coffee and we're just talking. It's just ladies talking about this material and learning while we're talking. And so we do that every single week. Every lady loves it. Everybody comes in. They're ready to participate. Every single time I've done this, the comments I usually hear every single time is, how come no one has ever told me this? I've never heard this before. This material is awesome. It's just changing my life. I'm showing this to my husband. I want my daughter to take this next time. Every single time I've done this. And I think I've taught this at least 20 times, at least, since I've done this. And, groups of like maybe 4 ladies, 5 ladies, up to 20 ladies, but every single time, those are the things I hear every single time. So it's very simple. If anyone is thinking about doing it, I just, would really strongly encourage you to just do it. Just ask a group of ladies, where you work or where you go to church, or maybe ask your pastor if you feel like he's open to that. Can you teach it in a Bible study? I've taught it in churches in a Bible study, and they enjoyed it. The pastors even sat in on a few of them, and he enjoyed it. So it's anyone can learn from it. And I think it's really important for men and women to hear this. It's very important for women, but I think it's important for men, because I think that helps men understand that it's okay for them not to be in what we call traditional roles. If the woman's called to preach and he's called to be administrator, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's very, very godly, and it's got a lot of significance in the kingdom. It's all ministry to Jesus. He doesn't care. He just wants you to fulfill the calling he's giving you. So I just really want to strongly encourage you with that. A few other things I just want to touch on. I do follow-up after our 10 weeks is over. I do check in on the ladies, but I don't want to, what I call, babysit them. I strongly encourage them to go out and teach other women. And this is basically what I say every single time. By the time we're at the 9 or 10 weeks, I say, okay, we're responsible for the information that the Lord gives us. I've been responsible for this, and I feel like one of the responsibilities I have is to go out and teach other women about this. I tell them about the 10 things. I've had more women call me and ask me, can I get a copy of this? It's an easy read. People love it. I usually incorporate it with this course because a lot of the information that's in here has come out of the course. Women love it. I mean, even if they don't want to go through the whole course, they'll take this and they'll read this, and then they'll get interested and they'll want to know more, and then they'll want to go through the course or at least buy the book. So, and I've given this to women that are pastors and leadership that, don't have a lot of money. I'll pay for it myself and I'll give it to them because I really strongly want them to see these truths that a lot of times we just don't hear about. But as far as the follow-up, I will get with the ladies and I'll call them. We'll get together. We'll have coffee. They have my phone number. They have my email. We'll have a breakfast maybe once a month. As a matter of fact, I'm meeting with a group of ladies now in Kansas City, where I'm currently living, in Kansas City. We just did a course, and now every month we just get together and we talk, and it's led into other branches of ministry, other things that we've done together, and just help facilitate women to know that the things that they've been called to do, they can do. And it's really godly, and the Lord has called them to do it. So I really do encourage them to teach others, but I'm not, it's not my place to tell them to do it. I just encourage them and just say, it's easy. If you want some help, I'll help you. But, you're responsible for what the Lord has shown you in this course. It's not just for you to take it and walk away. You're responsible for what you get. And, I would just strongly encourage anyone that's thinking about doing it. You're welcome to email me if you'd like. It's ecclesiaministries@sbcglobal.net. I'd be happy to send you some email tips about what you can do to get started in your area that would work for you. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. This just works for me. I mean, it works for me to do it the way I'm doing it. But the way Sue has laid out this material is so easy. You can do it a number of ways, and I think it would be effective as long as you're getting to the meat of what is written here and you're staying true to the course. But how you facilitate that information is really up to your personality and the group that you have. You may have a group that the only time you can do it is on Sunday morning for Sunday school. No problem. Maybe you have a group that you could only do it on Saturday morning because everybody works Monday through Friday. No problem. You can do it then. Saturday night, do it then. But the important thing is, if you feel the Lord is calling you to do it, is to do it. Just start doing it, and you'll find that the course will open up so many aspects of other relationships and other ministry, not only for you, but for everybody else. Because once you hear the truth, then the Lord is able to use it in you. I think about a scripture. It says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. But once we have the truth, it really can set us free. So those are two of my favorite scriptures, and I use them a lot. So hopefully this was a blessing to you. And again, feel free to drop me an email if you like, ecclesiaministries@sbcglobal.net. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And I think that's really been a blessing. I just really praise the Lord that the Lord put it on Sue's heart to write it, because it really has impacted a lot of women that I know personally. A lot of people I know personally, men and women. I've even had women to bring their husbands in and had their husbands sit there and listen to the course with them, sometimes reluctantly. So I have taught this course to men. I'd be more than happy to, if a guy is thinking about doing that. My heart has always been to teach it to people that really want to hear it. And I know there's men out there that really have a genuine godly love to see women see their sisters in Christ come forth in all that they need to do. They have a godly love for women. So I would have no problem. I think it would be awesome if a group of men started teaching this to a men's my group. Address. Hopefully you can see this. And it's Ecclesia International Ministries. And hopefully you can see that. I know my writing is not the greatest. Okay. But it's Ecclesia Ministry at sbcglobal.net. Ecclesia Ministries, and that's at sbcglobal.net. And my website is down now, so I'm not going to give it to you because it's not going to go anywhere. But I do have a website, and if you send me your email and we keep in touch with each other, when my website's back up, you can see it. But I do have a Facebook page, so you can see a little bit more about what's going on with me on my Facebook page at this point.